Hi, welcome to Madam's Amazing Classes. I am Lizzie George. I am going to teach NCERT Supplementary Reader English, Chapter 9. That is what happened to the reptiles. So, this is a supplementary reader text. All of you open your textbooks. The page is 32A and chapter 9. Okay. So this is a story, very interesting. It shows us how each one is important in this world. Not only human beings, all the animals, all the creatures, each one has their own role to play in this world. Say suppose there were no rats, no snakes would not get food. Suppose there were no snakes, they could not, means rats would have been increasing in the rats would have been increased in the world. So there is it's a food, one is the food for another. So everybody is important, each and everyone is important. So even plumbers, electricians, doctors, engineers, if everybody was a doctor, everybody is an engineer, who would have done the other work? So everyone is important in this world. So to show that this is a nice story to show how important each one is. Okay. Now please listen. Pambupatti is a peaceful village inhabited by variety of people. Prem, the narrator of the story, flees his village under unfortunate conditions to reach Pambupatti by chance. An old resident of the village looks after him and tells him an interesting story. So Pambupatti is a peaceful village. The narrator of the story is Prem. He lived in some other village which was a very violent place. That means the people there were always on fights. Okay, so this is an interesting story how this narrator reached this peaceful village Pambupatti. Okay, you may not believe this story, but I can tell you it is true because I have been to Pambupatti. This is what the narrator says. Okay, so you will not believe this story. I can tell you it is true because I have been to Pambupatti, a village on the edge of a jungle. It is on a cliff and the vast forest stretches below like a mossy green carpet. There are many kinds of people in the village, dark, fair, tall, short. They speak many languages. Some eat meat, some don't. Some pray in a small temple at the edge of the forest. Others pray in a mosque some miles away. So he explains the village Pambupatti. He says there are many kinds of people, fair, dark, tall, short, and there are people who go to the temple near the edge of the forest, and there are some people who go to the mosque which is little far away. So all people live together. Some eat meat, some don't eat. Okay. My name is Prem and I live many hundred miles away from Pambupatti. So Prem doesn't stay there, doesn't live there. His village is some many hundred miles away from this particular Pambupatti village. I had heard about the village, but I had never been there. So this author, Prem, he had heard about this village, but he had never been there before. Then last year, something terrible happened. The people of my own village went mad. So what he says is, something strange happened. A strange thing happened in his place, and he said the people of his village went mad. Far, far away in a place they have never even been to, a temple or mosque had been burned down. So what had happened in his village? One temple and a mosque, both were burned down. And they went mad. They started fighting with one another. Some had to run away in the middle of the night. And at 3 in the morning, as I lay in my house, half awake to the sounds of hate and violence, there was a fire. So this author was fast asleep on his bed. It was at 3 o'clock. People had burned down the temple and the mosque, and they were fighting with each other and burning houses. And when he was fast asleep at 3 o'clock in the morning, so he was half awake, and he could he could see that all the houses were on fire, including his house. So one of them was mine. His house was on fire. I managed to grab a few clothes, some coins, my little Ganesh statue, and I ran. So what did he do? He grabbed some clothes, okay, and because the house was on fire, some coins, a little Ganesh statue of Ganesh, and he ran. I ran for a day and a night. So much he ran. He went on running. One day he ran, and again one night also he ran. Resting whenever my legs would not carry me any further. So he was running until his legs could not carry him any further. He was so tired to walk. Till then he would run. I jumped onto a train, then on a bus. Then after that he caught a train. Then later he got down from the train and went by bus. No tickets because nobody had money to pay for the ticket. Never mind. Everyone seemed to be running. Finally, I found myself in Pamupatti, and I saw some villagers gathered near a well. So running, finally he reached one village, Pamupatti, and he saw some people near a well. So he wanted to drink some water, so he went running near a well, and before he could say anything, even to ask them to give some water, he fainted there. He fell unconscious. What is fainted? Fell unconscious. When I opened my eyes, I saw an old man with white hair, white beard, and shining black eyes bending over me. So he did not know what happened after that. He fell unconscious. So he did not know what had happened. So that time when he awoke, he saw one old man with the grey hair, grey beard, and shining eyes was taking care of him. So he was bending over him. For the next few days, he looked after me, putting food in my mouth, bringing me sweet cool water from the stream. He rubbed my feet gently and made the pain go away. So he looked after him nicely. He brought food and put in his mouth. He brought sweet water from the stream and gave in his mouth, put in his mouth. And he rubbed his feet so gently to make his pain go away. So neighbors, strangers, everyone came to visit him. Okay. Tell me, grandfather, I said to him one day, I have never seen people like the villagers here. In my village, people fight with those who pray to another god. But here, this seems a very strange place. So after he became all right, healthier, he started speaking to that person. He talked to him. He said, grandfather, I really feel very strange. Here villagers are so nice, and in my village they will fight with the people, with those who pray to another god. But here this is not like this. Prem, replied the old man, I will tell you the story of Pamupatti. You can take this story back to your village. Maybe it will heal some of its wounds and dry some of its sores. So what he said is, I will tell you the story of Pamupatti. So that may be helpful in healing the wounds of the people of your village and also dry some of its sores. That means with this story, if you go and tell them, they may learn a lesson to how to live in cooperation with one another, how to tolerate one another. That is what he means by healing the wounds and the sores. Oh, grandfather, I said anxiously, don't say that. What I've seen in my village makes me burn with shame. I never want to go back there. So Prem said to grandfather, never. I don't think it will happen in my village. I really feel very ashamed of telling about my village. I never want to go back there. But that's exactly why you must go back, he said. So what grandfather says, that is why you should go back, because you must teach them a proper lesson how to live with cooperation. So this is that is why I want you to go back to your village. So in a soft voice he said, I kept quiet. I didn't want to argue with them and I wanted to hear his story. So by that Prem kept quiet and he wanted to hear the story. So what he said, it happened long time ago, he began. So long that there were no schools or no teachers. Children lived in caves with their parents and helped them to collect fruit and berries from the forest. He said it was long ago. People were living in caves and there were no schools, no teachers. So children were going to help the parents to gather berries from the forest. And at that time, there were no tigers or panthers or elephants in Pambupatti forest. So in the forest, there were no tigers, no elephants, and no panthers. Who were there? There were only reptiles, many kinds of reptiles. Now you know what reptiles are: snakes, crocodiles, turtles, lizards, all these reptiles. So there were no other animals, there were only reptiles. Only reptiles. So which are the reptiles? Snakes, crocodiles, turtles, lizards are the reptiles. And you know that the reptile has scales on its body and it lays eggs. So reptiles have scales on their bodies and they lay eggs. Every month, the reptiles of Pambupatti had a big meeting. So every month there was a big meeting of these reptiles. Everyone came. The pretty, excited snakes, the slow, thoughtful tortoises, and the clever, quick lizards. So who all attended the meetings? The pretty, excited snakes, the slow, thoughtful tortoises, and the clever, quick lizards. All of them attended the meeting. And the moody crocodiles. So very nice adjectives to explain these reptiles. Grumpy, because they were out of water. So when the crocodiles had to come for the meeting, they had to come on the land leaving the water. So these crocodiles were very moody and grumpy because they were out of the water. The president of these meetings was Makara, the biggest crocodile of the forest. So who was the president of this meeting? President of this meeting was Makara, the big crocodile of the forest. All the animals thought he was very important. So he was the president of the meeting and everybody felt that he was a very important person. Okay. So person means, I don't mean human being, the crocodile. When someone is strong and powerful, you know, it is difficult not to go along with what he says or does. So when one is very important and powerful, so everybody has to listen to him. Nobody can say anything against him. Now one day, a strange thing happened. It was a week before one of the monthly meetings, Makara sent a letter to all the tortoises asking them not to come for the meeting. Ahiste, the big old star tortoise with black and yellow pictures on his shell, was very angry. So, just before the meeting of the particular month, and the Makara, the leader, the president, the crocodile, he sent a letter to all the tortoises telling them not to come for the meeting. That time, one old star tortoise with yellow pictures, black and yellow pictures on his shell. They had a big shell. There will be some designs now. So the author says black and yellow pictures on his shell, was very angry. Why? What does this mean? He shouted, "How dare they?" But not one of the tortoises had the courage to attend the meeting. So he was very angry, the star tortoise. He said, "What do they mean? How dare they not inviting the tortoises for the meeting?" But other tortoises had no courage. Nobody had the courage to go for the meeting. Before the meeting, the giant Makara polished his teeth with the red flowers of the tree by the river till they sparkled. So there were some red flowers near the river on a tree. He removed some of them and polished his teeth so that they should look fierce and bright. "Brothers and sisters," he began, "all the reptiles, even the beautiful pink king cobras, stop talking." So he started the meeting. He addressed all the reptiles, brothers and sisters. Now all the reptiles, even the beautiful king cobras, also stopped talking. All were scared. Makara continued his speech. "I have decided that we don't need the tortoises. I have told them not to come today. Brothers and sisters, can you tell me why we don't like the tortoises?" So he said in the meeting, "Brothers and sisters, I have told the tortoises not to come for the meeting. Do you know why we don't want them here?" The reptile looked this way and that way. So they did not know why the tortoises were told not to come for the meeting. They all looked this side and that side. They felt very uncomfortable. The snakes hissed anxiously. The lizards wriggled their tails. The crocodiles opened their jaws even wider. So everybody was so surprised. So how did they show their surprise? The snakes hissed anxiously. Lizards wriggled their tails. Crocodiles opened their jaws still wider. "But," said one little lizard. So little children now, they don't know what fear is. So one little lizard said, "But," that time what did Makara say? "No buts," shouted Makara. There was silence. So when a little baby lizard said, "But," means she wants to say something, but it is not fair. That's what she must be going to say. But what did Makara said? "No buts." So there was silence again. "I think," said the baby crocodile. So the baby crocodile wants to give its opinion. So something favoring for the tortoise maybe. So the little crocodile said, "I think." But what did Makara say? "No, I think," said Makara, so loudly that the fruit in the tree above him rained down. So loudly he shouted, "No thanks." That time all the fruits from the tree rained down. After that, no one had the courage to speak. So Makara cleared his throat and showed a few more teeth. "Well," he said, "I will tell you why we don't like the tortoises. They are so slow, so stupid. They even carry their houses on their backs. Who ever heard of such a stupid thing? Now you lizards, you live in trees. Would you ever carry a tree on your back? Would you?" So he said, these people, these tortoises are stupid. They carry their house on their back. Isn't it funny? So you lizards live on the trees. Do you carry a tree on your back? So he said that is why he doesn't like tortoises. So he told them to not to come to the meeting. Okay, we'll continue in the next video. Okay, thank you so much. Please subscribe my channel.